Sabrina, family, welcome to Wolves After Dark. Butts can be unclenched. The Wolves win in dramatic fashion, classic fashion. Um, Sabrina, how you doing?
All right, no plans on
I'm
explaining.
good. How are you guys? I apologize ahead of time. My boyfriend's playing 2K with his friends,
That's what
so
you had to do in the holidays. Look at that. Is that a Christmas tree? Is that a wolf in the Christmas tree back there?
my mom said the same thing. So right here looks like a howling wolf in the Christmas tree, and
That's so
yeah.
good. Oh
Hi
man, it's so
Charlie,
much.
how are you?
What's up, Charlie Barley? Man, what a game. I'm still kind of just like trying to settle my nerves, my emotion. That was quite a high to win like that in dramatic fashion. I was going to ask a question to chat a couple games ago when I was doing my solo embarrassing solo show, and it was like, are we kind of developing the clutch gene? Are we a clutch team? Are we kind of shaking all like the cobwebs from yesteryear, and are we becoming a team that can win when the game is on the line? And time and time again, we're getting the Conley clutch three. Time and time again, we're seeing a Jaden clutch defensive play, a Gobert like completely domination like moment, and we get the Ant, jam and harm. Right? I think we're becoming a clutch team. What are your thoughts?
I wish I would have saved the stat I saw earlier on Twitter. I kind of actually forgot that I was coming on this until like the second quarter, but
Same
um,
here.
it was something about the Wolves or like something in one or something in a nothing when like in clutch time. And Mike Conley has so many buckets and Anthony Edwards has so many buckets, but overall this was a great team win.
Hmm.
Shake hit some shots, but he's still not back yet.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you're right.
um I wish that Finch would be a little more directional with his play calling in the fourth. I know he's a big fan of like letting it go and free flow, but Ant thrives with the structure. Rudy Gobert
Dude,
strives with
totally,
the structure. And
totally.
like I need that. Like
Oh,
I just need specific plays drawn up for specific people, even if it ends up like being the extra pass and the play goes wrong that way. Something. But yes, no beam to be seen.
oh my God, dude. Okay, you said play calling, and I need to immediately say, how about Michael Grady's play calling tonight? I have my notes are really small and like 8-point font, but he said the following, and I want everyone in chat to say what the best one was because I don't even know. I don't even know if I have my answer. And Simon Waits was like Michael Grady A1 for the Christmas calls. He talked about the stocking stuff when Nas had a dunk in a transition. He talked about mistletoe kiss when Na hit a bank shot off the window. His probably is one of his only buckets. He said, "Yes, Sirski," which is not Christmas, but it might as well be for us Timberwolves fans. When Ant hit a 3-pointer at the end of the third quarter, near the end of the third quarter, he said, "Jingle Bell rocked" in reference to Rudy Gobert's face getting rocked all game. And then he also said, "Scrooged on." The Kings were getting Scrooged, or we were getting our Scrooge on. I don't know. I think Scrooge on might take the cake, but what are your thoughts on Michael Grady? I think we are spoiled rotten once again with a broadcast duo for the history books.
I really enjoyed Dave Benz. Let's just his Ant facts were chef's kiss, but there's been something that Michael Grady energy wise has brought to this organization's play calling on TV makes me excited to tune in. Um, the Scrooge Dawn was definitely my favorite. He his honestly, I think Wolves Nation should make a drinking game to how many times he said cash or
Stupid
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah,
but
totally, totally. Cool. There was a little bit of history to this game. No Cat. Cat is resting his shin slash ankle slash foot. I don't know what's happening, but just get well soon, Cat. But also no Malik Monk. Um, there's quite a history between Trey Lyles and Cat. They were former teammates in Kentucky. No Cat, but Trey Lyles had his way in the fourth quarter. Somehow, I always feel like I remember Trey Lyles in every game he plays because he has this like remarkable like stint near the ends of games or fourth quarter. So he was big for the Kings there. But the Kings just played last night in Phoenix, and they had like a 29-point lead against Phoenix, and they had all five of their starters in double figures. They had a bunch of threes. They got a bunch of points in the paint. I didn't see any of that tonight. I saw a couple players playing hero ball for the most part for the Kings, and I think it's a lot in due part to the Minnesota Timberwolves donning the blue, but also Rudy Gobert in the paint, completely stopping what they want to do typically in their offensive sets.
It seems to me every time I hear the name Trey Lyles, it's always for him popping off.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was a +/7, 10
Yeah.
points. He was 1 of 3 from the free throw line, so that didn't help them. He was 4 of 8 overall, 1 of 4 from 3 in 27 minutes. If we were
Okay.
rating the Kings people, he'd probably be a D.
All right, Sabrina, put me in my place again because I was watching the Timberwolves go on an 8 or 10-0 run, 10-2 run to start the fourth, cushioning our lead from 11 to 20, and then boom, Trey Lyles pops in and gets that lead. Not just Trey Lyles, I'm sorry, Trey Lyles, Keegan Murray, of course, a little De'Aaron Fox, trying to get himself going, but like mostly the Sabonis as well, getting the lead all the way back down to 5. So what happened in those moments? Or what happened, do you think?
Well, the first thing is, especially in the fourth quarter, we held De'Aaron Fox to 0 points.
Oh, man.
He had 3 misses from beyond the arc, 1 miss from the free throw line, and 2 misses in like the paint area. He was 0 of 6 in the fourth quarter, which for last year's clutch player of the league,
Oh, where was that? That's a big
didn't
diss. I
happen
love
today.
it. I love it. You're fine. You're fine, Sabrina. You're fine.
The other thing that I wanted to say is we had 1 less steal, but it didn't hurt us. Somebody in chat, this game would be nothing without Shake, you know? We'll come back to that.
Colin. Oh my gosh.
We were out rebounding them in the first half, and they came back and really closed the gap on that in the second. So we had 31 assists, I believe, coming into this game. We were 8-0 or 9-0, so it's either 9-0 or 10-0 now. Of if you had 30 or more assists in a game, we won. So this is just another proof if the ball's moving, or another proof of the statement. The ball's moving. Yeah. Seatbelt is what happened once Les went down to 5. The lead, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Let's not compare to anything. This is now maybe not Western Conference Finals or Finals. Let's take the win and not look too far ahead.
Yo, Anthony Hollis, welcome back. Of Anthony Hollis fame. Our first ever giveaway did not give away to you, but we will find our way to each other, Anthony Hollis. That is for sure. I think this game is bookended by Gobert and some sensational plays by Ant, of course, down the stretch. He opened it, he opened the game with transition 3, and then ended the game with some power dunks and just like get the hell out of this arena, Sacramento. This is my town. You even said like, this is Ant loves to play in Sacramento before the game, or you told me that or something, and like Ant's gonna have to go for 40 or something. Like that kind of almost could have happened, just a couple of plays, couple calls go his way. That he could have been his for sure.
He was 1, 2, 3 of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. He was 3 of 12 from behind the arc. So I'm gonna really need him to stop chucking 3-point shots if it's not falling.
I agree, and Anthony Hall says amen, but it's also amen to that comment because I think
Yes.
what has happened in the past is him finding himself in rhythm and then getting hot and then trying to extend that like flame. And sometimes it's like he needs to just keep driving. In those moments, I think he catches fire. He wants to settle for shots and settle for the 3-point shot, and sometimes that is money, right? But oftentimes it doesn't like it's not a back-to-back situation. Usually, it's like a blip, like a little like burst. And what I would love is to have him in rhythm find other people in rhythm find himself driving to the rim or put or pull it back out for a Jaden three or something. But yeah, his chucking is on display at times. But in a game where we didn't have Cat, we did need to find someone to really like push the pace. And I thought one thing, Noah in chat, hours before the game, he like was ready, like right at the game start, even before even like we barely had this like the YouTube pregame kind of ready. He posts in chat like Ant could explode for 40, loves Sacramento, and like I think he said something else about like we got to push the pace. And boy, like the start of our game, finally we had some pace.
So he said this is a game where Ant needs to outplay Fox, drop 47 and 7. We need to play at our pace and
Yeah,
stop the three. Hope I'm right. Go Wolves.
yeah, for sure.
Um, then he, just before we went live, said key stat Ant 10 assists, Conley 7 rebounds, McLaughlin 97 seconds play.
That's funny. I missed that, but that's amazing, dude. Shout out to Jordan McLaughlin. His 97 seconds was a like I think he was like a plus something.
I'm pulling it up.
He was a -1. Who gives a crap? He had 2 assists in that minute. Like, let's
Yeah.
shout him out. And also shout out to the big boy in our Discord for the over and under. How could you predict that 10 people were going to play? That's insane. I was not expecting a Baby Mac experience. Cool. I thought also the steady hand, the hand that does not shake, the hand that is not also not shake, Milton. Man, that was good. Blow that up. Mike Conley. He's 36 years young, and if he's playing, no other players can sit. He feels like he is the juice to this game at times, where he is the Gobert whisperer. He starts the game trying to feel out where the defenses are, and he's attacking the same issues, the gaps and the holes in their defense. And it seems like they were attacking Harrison Barnes at times. They were attacking Kevin Herter at times, and then Sabonis got 2 quick fouls. I don't think we saw a whole lot of foul trouble from him at the end of the game, but like then they were so porous in the post that we just kept on going to Gobert, and Gobert had like a double at the end of the first quarter.
The interesting thing for me is the decision to sit Troy Brown. He picked up 3 quick fouls, and
Yeah.
I think he only played like 3 minutes or something. And we stuck with Shake. Shake got 13 minutes for the first time in like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
So maybe all it took is me not believing in him anymore for him to decide that he's going to actually be the person that we thought he was. I was going to say something else. Oh, there's that whole thing that was going on like social media and how many times a week or how many times a day that the male like side of society thinks about the Roman Empire. My Roman Empire is the D'Angelo Russell, Mike Conley, Nickeil Alexander Walker trade.
Dude,
I think about it at least twice a day. No joke.
In between books, I'm sure.
Well, in between books, yes. But like my thing is
wow.
He got put on the bench.
Yeah.
He's coming off the bench now. Yeah. We won the trade when we got Mike Conley on a contract that helps work with what we're building. But now that's just like icing on the cake.
Wow. What a statement from you. Yeah, we love thinking about just all in on Roman Empire stuff, but when I'm not doing that, I'm thinking Wolves for sure. I'm donning my Wolves shirt. I was so pumped for this game, and they delivered, dude. I thought this game was all about runs. Most games are, but like we have kind of stopped like the opposing teams from amassing a run against us. Not like to the extent where we blow away lots of teams, but we like have a comfortable 10 to 15 point lead. We don't shed that. Shout out to the Kings. I didn't really see a whole lot of rhythm from their bench, but they caught fire with, I'm saying Trey Lyles again, but whatever. Like other people as well. And like I think a healthy fourth quarter surge from Keegan Murray got the lead trimmed down to 5. Dude, those last 3 minutes were electric. I hope, you're going to go on the NBA app. You're going to go YouTube on NBA.com and see that final 5 minutes of like how we had that lead, how it got shrunk, and how it got extended based on bully ball from Ant. Gobert with key timely defensive possessions. That Jaden block saying absolutely not, and then that like clutch gene that Conley has. I feel like we see it on a nightly basis, putting this game in his pocket. I loved it. Man, I am over the moon. Like, not trying to be punny with Wolf themes, but over the moon with how we've started the season. We could have had quite a different result this year. This team is playing against 500 teams like like they are not 500 teams, right? Like above 500 teams. We are playing against teams like Philly, and we're doing okay. We're playing against teams like, you know, like what we just saw here and like last night or last game as well, and we are taking care of business. I've never really felt this type of energy from our team, and it feels like we're playing with each other too. Like, what are you seeing from your vantage point in Minnesota? Like, man, the team is really vibing for me at least.
I see more Wolves gear on the street this year since the start of the season than I do Vikings gear. Understandable.
Whoa.
Like, we lost Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. We lost Justin
yeah.
Jefferson early in the year too, right? For a while.
Yeah. Shout out the Vikings though. Like, they carried Minnesota sports for the longest time.
Totally.
Nah, but I see so much positivity on most social media apps because X is a different breed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
but
has different people as well. Yeah.
I mean, you've got Grady interacting with fans. You've got Sneaker Reporter's mom following people, and Sneaker Reporter giving away Anthony Edwards ones when they come out in January. So go to his profile and tell him why you're following him if you want a free pair of AE New Waves.
Yeah, totally. Anthony Hollis coming in, basically just kind of supplementing what you said earlier in the show, Sabrina. By the way, thank you all, 80 plus of you that have showed up and you're celebrating your holiday weekends with us. It's awesome. Cameron's out celebrating the holiday weekend himself right now. Give a shout out to Cameron when you can. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I don't know what Cameron usually says. I usually tune out for that part. But I'm very thankful that you guys are all here, and especially Sabrina, just like killing it as per usual. On a moment's notice, she drops everything and she's on with us. Guys, it was 195. We ended the game 110 to 98. That is so hype. Honestly, it is so hype to see our Minnesota Timberwolves no longer puppies in a winter storm. Like, I don't know why I just said that, but it's like we are able to close out games now for the first time, and I feel strongly that I can say that we are a clutch team, and I'm pretty pumped. As David Peters says, tree emoji. Let's get into the tier list, unless you have any final thoughts about like kind of what you were watching tonight.
I'm good with the tier list. I'm just looking at the end of the game here, seeing where the final 3 points came from.
Oh, sure.
You see how deep I was? There was no way I was
It was on a Keegan Murray 3-pointer with 51 seconds left.
Yeah. That's right.
So before that,
they were on a 17-2 run. Like, yeah. I think it was like maybe like 19-4 or something like that ultimately, but like I wrote down 17-2 or something.
So Ant stole the ball with 1:26 left and dunked.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Let's start the tier list. Yeah, let's do this. We'll get this out and we'll get to our homies after this short intermission with the tier list. Cool. Shake Milton. Let's start with Shake Milton. We could say, Jordan McLaughlin, congrats, we got you on the court. Troy Brown Jr., 3 fouls in 3 minutes. I don't know, man. Like, it's hot and cold with you. We can't have that. We need more production. And the 3 fouls make no sense. Like, you're on the perimeter. You shouldn't be like hacking much of anything. But we're going to start the tier list with Shake Milton. 13 minutes, 5 points. But most importantly, he wasn't a dud.
So we're at 13 minutes, 5 points. He had 1 turnover. He had 1 assist, 1 rebound. He was 1 of 2 from 3 and 2 of 4 altogether. Personally, I'm gonna say he's a C.
Sure.
This is average
This is
for a role
average.
player.
This is average for a role player.
It's not what I expect from him because obviously I've been the one that thinks so highly of him. But I think me giving up on him, I'm going to tell myself me giving up on him decided to light a fire under his ass. And to answer your question, Charlie, what's in my glass is Lipton peach iced tea. I just took it out of the bottle. Nice. No Christmas cheer.
And thank you, Anthony Hollis, for that. Slow no, yes. Next up is sure, you said slow no. We got to go to slow mo himself, but he was starting, so we'll move on to Naz Reid. 19 minutes, 6 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, no fouls after fouling out last game, 2 steals, but a team worst -13 plus minus. Typically, I look at plus minus kind of just like in a vacuum. It doesn't look great, but when you see the game unfold, like he's in versus some, like, when Slow-Mo had foul trouble in that moment when like the Sacramento Kings went on a run. However, Naz Reid this season has been pretty bad on defense, such that they are just running to the rim, getting whatever they wanted in the post. And I kind of saw a lot of that. Even JaVale McGee played a role when like Naz Reid was out there, So this is not what I want from Naz Reid. I don't know what your thoughts are on the grade and everything, but I'm kind of leaning light. I'm kind of leaning towards the D-low tier.
For Naz?
Yeah.
He didn't hit his 3-pointers. He was arguing so much tonight, and he usually just like, man, whatever, and walks away. And it just feels like he's in his head like he used to be back in like the beginning of last year before things started clicking when Cat got hurt, or the end of the season before when he was like struggling to shoot from 3 and he actually got played off the floor because people were playing better. I hate to give Naz D-low because like I feel like, but this was not an average game for Naz, so it has to be.
This was not a Naz game. Honestly, I actually thought we were going to get Naz Supreme being tonight because of just probably the extended minutes he was going to get.
I had Jaden or Naz going for their career high.
Right?
That's what I thought, but it's just like,
yeah.
I mean, we'll get to Jaden because he's a starter, but 20 points is only 5 off of his career high. So
sure,
Jaden touching the ball a lot means the ball is moving, which means the Wolves are gonna win if we have assists. But
guys, you heard it here first. Finch, you heard it here first. Jaden touch ball, Wolves win. All right.
Well, it's like last year, and it carried over into this year. When Jaden touches the ball and has 10 or more shots up, or 10 or more points, I can't remember which one it is. It's like an ungodly like we're like 20 and like 6 or 20 and like 4 or something. Like,
yeah,
it's incredible how much, if we get him involved offensively and he's not playing with foul trouble and different things, how vital he is to this team's success.
Absolutely. Cool. Anthony Hollis, when the bigs are hurt out, is coach spacing the bigs to buy time? Absolutely. Yes. It's so written. But Gobe had to play an extended game tonight. I felt like
Mhm.
he was maybe at his max minutes, from what I typically want from him too, because it seems like when Slow-Mo went into foul trouble, we couldn't go back to him, and Nas is very porous on defense, at least right now. He can't be the
Yep.
sole big. We can't have Troy Brown Jr. play the four, and I even think that like Nikhil Alexander Walker can't really play post minutes, right? So it's kind of just Gobert, um, Slow-Mo, Nas when Cat's out, right? So
I
that big rotation was big for us to
I
keep things working.
think I think if Luca was suited up, I don't know if he'd play or if he was like in
Mhm.
street clothes or in his game clothes on the bench. I know he can only play 55 games because of being on a two-way.
Yeah.
But I feel like if Nas would have ended up with any more fouls, if well, he had none, but if he would have ended up in foul trouble, I really think that with Cat being out, he would have had to have no choice but to go to Luca. Luca's
Oh,
a
well,
Luca's an interesting choice on defense sometimes, but his
yeah,
offensive spark plug.
that's right.
uh,
Man, when we had Greg Monroe, those were the days, right? Donning number 55,
Moose.
Moose himself. In a way, I kind of missed that because that guy knew his game. You could game plan with that in mind, and he wasn't awful on D, but he's just old and barely plays in the NBA. So, you couldn't really expect much from him. Luca, I think we could give him more of a potential bite. More moments for him to like at least try something. Because yeah, he's always ridiculously efficient on offense. He plays the Sabonis role really well, where he just like grinds really deep in the post. But Garza didn't play today. We're moving on to who did, Nikhil Alexander Walker, who has gorilla nuts indeed. 23 minutes, 2 points, a whole lot of zeros on the stat line. But he did have that. He did have that shot with late in the shot clock off the window that just forced Grady's hands to say the mistletoe kiss. I think I'm giving this guy also potentially a lower grade than usual. But what are your thoughts?
Um,
It's okay.
Nikhil,
Yeah.
he did not have an average game. He had a less than average game. And I'm going to be hard on, well, I can't be as hard on him as I probably should be,
Right.
specifically because the things that he did to benefit the game are not on the stat sheet. And his
Absolutely.
defense is the same way or the same thing that like I preached over and over and over again last year with Jaden, and how Jaden may not be scoring points and he may be getting 4 or 5 fouls a night,
Hmm.
but his defensive prowess is the stuff that's not counted, and that's why I like made that push for him for all defense. But he's a C,
Yeah.
and normally I would probably say if he scored a few more points, it would be a B. But
Hmm.
because he only had 2 points, yeah, he keeps fighting through the screens just like Jaden does. Yep, Charlie is correct with that.
Absolutely.
He was okay. It was not D-low tier. It was not. I mean, it was less than what I expected. But the off the stat sheet defense is why I rate him a
Mhm.
C.
In the second quarter alone, he had 7.5 minutes. In those 7.5 minutes, he was probably guarding Keegan Murray slash De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox popped off for 14 points in that second quarter. Keegan Murray had 5. And Keegan Murray didn't really get popping off. So like their offense was kind of grinding to just 2 players for the most part all night. And had it not been for De'Aaron Fox popping off in that second quarter, it would have been an absolute blowout, right? So I wouldn't like pinpoint Nikhil Alexander Walker as the reason why they were closing the gap in that first half, but like Nikhil Alexander Walker's first half, allowed potentially De'Aaron Fox to get hot and or Keegan Murray, but he was running through screens. Of course, he's awesome on D. But in the second half, his second half changed things, I thought,
Yep.
and was a big reason why I think Fox had nothing going for him.
Yeah. Xavier has a good point in chat. He's almost better at fighting through screens than Jaden. Maybe not tonight specifically, but in the season as a whole. I would actually give that statement a lot of credit. Jaden's really elite at fighting through screens, and he pesters everybody that he's guarding. It's why fans gave him the nickname Seatbelt. But
Mm-hmm.
Na is ungodly good at breaking through a screen. He's also ungodly good at getting illegal screens called. because
yeah, totally.
the way that he is able to like contort his body around the screen, it calls notice to what's going on.
I
I-
love that. I love that you said that. Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. All right. Hey, so on to the starters and like what we do on the show, all 70 plus of you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. And Sabrina, once again, on a moment's notice, you can, join us. And we're so thankful for the community that we've been building here. And it's all credit to all of you. So thank you so much. I hope you guys have a remarkably awesome holiday season. As we get to the starters, though, Kyle Anderson was inputted as Cat was out with tonight. And just for all of you all tuning in, it was a ridiculous fourth quarter heroics from Gobert, Jaden, and Ant to close this game out. But we had built a 20-point lead, and it got shrunk to 5. Kyle Anderson had foul trouble, but in comes slow-mo, in comes slow-no in the fourth quarter, and we start to get a rhythm back. And Conley comes back after a couple minutes rest, and we start to get a rhythm back. Slow-mo in 29 minutes, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Yes, he got in foul trouble, but he had a block shot as well. And, he was positive on the plus minus. He got into double figures for the first time in a while. But I view this game as like a C, if not like a B minus for slow-mo. What are your thoughts?
I'm trying to pull up his shot chart.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
So in the game as a whole, he was 4 of 9 for 44%. 2 were in the restricted, and 2 were out kind of towards the free throw line. So part of our paint points, and I think, we had 66 points in the paint to their
Is that
52.
insane?
So Kyle is not one to usually impact the paint, really. He's more of like a push floater guy. So for him to get up and go in there the way that he did tonight was actually really cool to see. But Noah, to your point, Kyle's defense, I think, really made the difference. Like you said, in the bottom half of that, Fox couldn't do much when Kyle was on him.
Mm-hmm.
Also to that, Fox couldn't do much when Jaden was on him either.
Yeah.
I don't know if they make more of their threes tonight if Cat was to start. I feel like Cat's defense has gotten really good this year, and I think that he is more than adequate. I don't think he would have been guarding Fox that much. They would have been trying to get the switch.
Yeah.
But they didn't really get any of the favorable matchups switching like they did when they played at the Target Center in November. I'd give Kyle a high C.
A high C.
I'm not giving him a B. I'm sorry.
Not that I'm trying to defend my low B idea or grade. He played the entire fourth quarter. Guess who else played the entire fourth quarter? Jaden MFN President McDaniels played
Jaden
all
for
12 minutes
president.
in the fourth quarter, and team or not like team high, but 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 steals, a block shot. He hit 3 for 9 from 3. Honestly, the assist is credible. It's great to see. My boy Jaden McDaniels, I'm giving him an A. I would give him an A1, but I think it's an A.
I'm not going to remember this game of Jaden's. I remember when he broke his career high and then broke it again a few nights later, but I will not remember this Jaden game. So, 40 minutes for Jaden. That's what he should be playing as a starter. That's what he should be playing as our perimeter defender when Jrue Holiday was in the start of his prime years, his young prime before he got to his prime. That's what Jrue Holiday would be playing. That's what they expect. That's what they expect their defensive players to be able to play.
Yeah. One of my favorite things that I've been noticing is how Finch is kind of I think Anthony Hollis was asking a question and just biding our time with our bigs. We're biding time for Ant to get back on the floor. We're wanting him to rest as much as possible in moments because he is going 110 miles an hour when he's out there. Like you notice that we'll talk about his potential chucking like gene in him. But you know what I would love is when we have like a roster out there, we have like our 5-man lineup consists of Gobert, Conley, Slow-Mo, like even like Naz Reid. But if you have Jaden out there too, like he's the young legs. We should like look at him and getting him even in ISO, even in some sort of like setup. Don't have him like ditch out to the 3 because we could really use him on offense. And I thought he can bring it on a nightly basis. And someone said earlier in chat, I think literally just earlier than this comment, like I don't think this is true, but it is like facts that we go to Cat more often than we would go to Jaden, right? So I think Jaden in these moments can really pop off and be that alpha when Ant's off on the bench,
I think that if we can stagger Ant and Jaden, and if Jaden can keep the offensive efficiency that he's been having, staggering them is going to be good defensively and offensively.
Wow.
I don't necessarily think Cat is taking points away from Jaden. I don't think it's holding him back. I think they get it to whoever they think is going to be able to hit the shot in that moment. The extra pass goes to Cat. The extra pass goes to Na. Na took a few too many shots tonight, I think, because it wasn't falling. Ant definitely took a little too many shots from behind the arc, and it wasn't falling. But that's the extra pass. If you're open, go for it. Yes, Begus is correct. When Cat's on the floor, Jaden is usually stuck in the corner. He only gets bailout passes. Mm-hmm. It's not how I'd like to see him be used offensively, and it's definitely not the best place for him. However, before last season, he talked about at Media Day how he had started working with somebody about his shot, and the corner and the very just like the wing in general is like his best spot for 3 points. And his shot chart, if you guys take a look at it at some point tonight, definitely says that he had 2 over in the left-hand side of the court in the 3-point area wing, the baseline, and then he had 1 on the right side at, I'd say, probably 40% up the key. So
I'm sharing the shot chart. Just look at what I can do. I can take over when Cameron's on here. I don't know why I care. I'm going to let's see.
Yes.
Go back to our.
Xavier is correct. His drive to the mid-range game has been fantastic. Jaden's midi game is just. I could sit here and talk all day about Jaden McDaniels. I sing his praise. I have the whole Jaden for president.
You and me both. Thing. Dude, you want to do a 3-hour show of Jaden McDaniels? I'm down. Like I love his high arcing shot. I love how he I don't think his shot ever gets blocked because he has such a unique take, but also there's some absolute trust when he's in the corner. He's the third option in that moment. Like, like oftentimes people say like the most important player in a football team is not like your starter. It's not your all-star receiver or whatever. It's the quarterback sitting on the bench being like, what happens, right? Like he is one of the more important players on your team. Like a lot of that's also just to save face and everything. But like honestly, that third option is always key because if you stop the first and the second, like those options, like you have to go to that third option, and that's always going to want to be Jaden, at least in my mind. A for tonight, A1 in my heart, honestly.
Exactly. I don't trust him to find the right guy if that mid-range starts getting more attention either. I think that Jaden struggles with passing, especially passing out when he's crashing to the hoop. Wow. But I think that as he starts to develop more of an offensive presence, I think the passing will come, and he's learning from one of the best passers in the game with Mike Conley. Yeah. So we'll see.
Totally.
What are we at? 20, almost 30 games out of the season. We've got 50 some to go. We're good.
Yeah. We're like at 21-6. That's insane. We just played the Lakers.
23-6.
Oh my gosh! I'm sorry, my friends. 23-6. How could I?
I'm pretty sure.
We're 22-6. 22-6. Let's get it right. Conley for sure. Like I can't believe that trade still went down. But like, what was so resistant was, we wouldn't trade Jaden for that. We wouldn't include Jaden in that package for Gobert, and it's paying its dividends. We're trusting in that youth, that second tier of what our peaks could be. We have like our peak right now with Gobert, Conley, and Cat. We have that second window with Ant and Jaden. I want that to shine bright when they're in their prime. Cool, Jaden, forever an A1, but tonight an A. Conley, big nuts, gorilla nuts, Conley. I gotta say, this is the best I've ever seen him look. Not just physically, but also just he's a beautiful man. But 12 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. That could have been a triple double tonight. Why'd you hold him back, Rudy Gobert? This is a potential A1. I'm gonna probably say A, but team high plus 28 on the court. When he was on the bench, we looked significantly worse out there tonight. I'm giving him an A. I want to hear from you, but I'm gonna ignore what your grade is.
Conley gets an A from me.
Right on.
The only thing I'm concerned with is he had a couple turnovers again, and he wasn't very efficient. However, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. Oh, the efficiency. There was a point where he was taking a couple shots in a row, and that's just because we had no one going, and Ant was on the bench. But tried and true, man.
Yeah.
I swear, our offense looks inept at times when he's not on there. We are struggling to find someone. Slow-mo is really struggling out there at times, trying to find the open man or push pace or do something with a shot clock. It has to be done in the last 4 seconds. And then we have this hot potato situation. Conley solves all of that nonsense. And I'm just so thankful. You go ahead.
I feel like Mike Conley is what we needed out of a point guard. And I feel like he is instilling that into the rest of the team. The one thing that even the turnovers get negated by is he hits those timely shots.
Yeah.
When the gap had closed down from 20 to 11, he hit a 3. When we needed him to hit a 3, he hit a 3. When we needed him to find the open guy or find Gobert for a lob, it's just Finch said it best. Conley is fucking important.
He's playing God mode out there.
He's goddamn important. So
yeah. And I just think it's so remarkable. Our coaching staff is what they are, and maybe they are getting the recognition now that they probably deserve. But it's nothing more important than entrusting what you are deploying, what you are trying to instill in your team. The DNA of your team starts and ends with your point guard. And D'Lo fucking sucked gorilla nuts last year when he was trying to use Gobert with D'Lo. That was not happening. We had to go to Baby Mac, who's barely on the court now, but in a rescue mission, of sorts, to get us to move the ball, to use Gobert in ways, right? And we have that veteran leadership. We have that poise on the court, but we also have an absolute unit in Mike Conley. And I'm forever grateful for that trade. This team is going to be in the upper echelon of all timers, honestly, for Timberwolves lore. But maybe we'll see in what happens in the NBA this year. But for sure, go ahead.
My behind the scenes hope, I guess, is that Jalen Clark, our 53rd pick of the 2024 draft, is getting as much time to sit and talk and watch and learn from Mike Conley as possible, because Jalen has the defensive capability that a point guard needs. And if he can develop the offensive side of his ball a little more than what he had at UCLA, 2-3 years down the line, when we don't have a backup point guard, I think if we can develop him the way that we develop Nas, he's a key piece of this organization moving forward. I love Jalen Clark's game. His highlights are incredible. Tyus Jones is who we need. Mike won't have to play as much. We'll run a clean offense. He'll bring down turnovers, which is our biggest weakness. We're going to pay the price to get Tyus.
Oh,
The money doesn't work. The Wizards don't do that trade. We offer them what? Troy Brown Jr., Shake Milton, Kyle Anderson, a couple second round picks. The money doesn't work. Tyus's contract is not team friendly. We wouldn't be able to
Oh,
pay him
man.
after this year anyways.
But he's
Trade
gonna take he'll take a discount, right, to come back to Minnesota.
he wanted out in the first place. That's why he went to Memphis.
Yeah.
I get what you guys are saying, and I've thought about getting Trey Jones too because he's being so disrespected, getting started off the bench in place of fucking Jeremy Sohan. But
Preach. These are not current Timberwolves players, though. However, so I'm going to put the kibosh on this conversation. And welcome to the show, R2 Venice. Maybe there's
David Kahn's here.
Yeah, like I swear, you know this show better than we do. We need more tiers. We can't just have a Glenn Taylor tier. We need a David Kahn tier because the David Kahn tier was the worst, also the whitest this team has ever been, and in a league that is not that.
Warriors can have Chris Paul. We've got bite. Absolutely.
My camera just froze because I clicked on R2 Venice. I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect real quick.
You're good.
But really quick, we're gonna give Conley the A. I'm gonna read off Gobert's stats of them, and you're gonna just take over for a minute. Gobert in 39 minutes, 21 points, 17 rebounds, 2 block shots, even a pass. He made a couple free throws, but most importantly, 10 for 13 from the line, and he was an absolute unit out there. I pass it over to you.
My biggest disappointment is that he did not try to take a 3 when we were up 20, but that's just my heart. I want Rudy Gobert to hit his first 3-point shot in an NBA uniform as a Minnesota Timberwolf, and I will keep preaching that agenda until it happens. But with Rudy, 10 of 13, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. His 6 offensive rebounds are incredible for me. He did try a jumper throw.
Dude, I was screaming no, but there's a reason why I'm single. It's not because I just yell at my screen. But sometimes it is partially because of it. I just like sitting in front of my screen just like screaming nonsense. But
I think my favorite moment of every Wolves game this season I believe it's happened at least in multiple of them, is when Rudy Gobert gets a rebound and then just takes it up the court himself.
Oh my God.
Because his form is so bad, and it's almost like he travels.
Yeah.
But if you watch, it's the gather step and then 1-2, and he's so freaking big that it works. But
well, he is so big. That's what she said. But Gobert himself, 20 and 17. He did not get the 20 and 20 game. It could have been an A1, should have been an A1, but it's an A for us tonight here at Wolves After Dark. With our deep analysis itself is alluding to an A.
He had 2 blocks, which is incredible.
Yeah. And honestly, he could have had more. I felt like he was getting a weird whistle. After, I think, Sabonis got 2 fouls, there was a weird shift in how the refs were, even like private message me being like, the refs are on one tonight. And
Ben Taylor was Ben Tayloring.
Yeah, to quote yourself.
I don't
ridiculous.
I don't like Ben Taylor. He is up there with like Ed Malloy and Scott Foster and I forget Jason or whatever his name is, Goebel, the dude with the bald head. His brother is also a referee. I don't like the Goebel brothers.
The Jason Goldenberg and John Butler, I guess, were the other refs tonight. You know their name as well, but way more than I do. But that's hilarious. If you had one Christmas wish, would it be for Ben Taylor to not ref a Timberwolves game again?
Say that again. I was reading chat.
If you had a Christmas wish, would it be for Ben Taylor not to ref a Timberwolves game again?
If I got a Christmas wish that actually happened, it would be for Ben Taylor to be fired from the NBA. It's not just the Timberwolves that he fucking officiates horribly. I'm in an NBA group chat, and he reffed a different game last night. I think it was a Spurs game or the last Spurs game, and
to get him out of the NBA, you're hilarious.
He's gone. I don't understand how he's still gainfully employed. I really don't.
Wow.
And Charlie, Ant says go Burr. He doesn't say the Burt. So it's
But it's
It's Big Roo go Burr.
go Burt. Oh man.
Did
So
you see that video from like Dane asking Rudy questions, and in the background you can hear Anthony Edwards? Oh my god, it's so funny.
I'm gonna have to check that out. You have to show it to me.
I will.
And Ant-Man, welcome to the show. Ant-Man, if you're Ant-Man himself, that's awesome. What would
What
y'all
you
want to see
wanna
more?
see
Rudy
more?
Coast to Coast or a Rudy 3? I
I've
don't
seen a
think I think I
I've
want a
seen a
Rudy
Rudy.
Coast to Coast.
I've seen a Rudy coast to coast.
Yeah.
It happened in a game last year at the Target Center.
But we
Technically,
the ones
I mean, technically, it might not be a coast to coast because he pulled up from like right outside the J, but it went in. So I mean,
my
um,
camera flipped out again, and as Ant-Man said, maybe the behind the back was crazy too. He had a no look pass tonight. That was nonsense. Yo, I'm so sorry about my camera here.
you're good. Back out. You're good.
Let's do Ant Edwards, unless you have anything else on Rudy.
Nah. Rudy is going to be the defensive player of the year, and if he doesn't get it, it's rigged. So
It's rigged.
mark my words now.
For a moment, I was thinking there's some potential MVP buzz, but I think that's currently in Joel Embiid's court.
Joel
big-
Embiid doesn't get MVP if he doesn't have the whistle that he does, and I stand by that.
I stand by that too. I love to complain about Joel Embiid. Actually, I hate it. It's the worst thing in the world. But anyways, moving on. Anthony Edwards, big boss himself, 40 minutes, 34 points. Hear me out and hear me loud. 34 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds, a steal, a block, hit all his free throws. 3 for 12 from 3, sure. 13 for 27, interesting. Below 50%. However, I feel like he was the pulse of our team. I'll hand it over to you as I refresh my camera. Sorry about that.
He hit his free throws tonight, and free throws have been his biggest thing that he's struggled with in the last couple of games. His efficiency is struggling. I think he's still dealing with some pain in the hip. Every once in a while during the game, you'll see him wince. Ant is a B for me tonight. He's not an A. He's a B.
He's a B
Yeah.
for boss?
Yeah, he was a B for me.
Oh my
I
gosh.
expect
Xavier
more out of
agrees
him.
with you.
I expect more out of him.
Oh my God, Johnny.
An A is a game.
Johnny, how can I come back from this? I agree. There was some absolute awful tunnel vision from him.
Yes,
But he had
Xavier.
a sick pass to Gobert for a dunk. And he had
He had a couple highlight dunks himself. I'll be excited to go see if those make the NBA. But the tunnel vision is what gets me, and like it leaves a bad taste in my mouth that he chucks so many threes when it's not falling because he's trying to make a highlight play or keep Johnny. The last 90 seconds makes Ant an A, Charlie. Okay.
Thank you for that retort, Charlie, my friend.
I will give the clutch defense and the clutch shot making because he hits up most of his free throws in the fourth quarter. I will give him an A specifically because of that.
Boom! It's cemented. It's pasted right there. We can't move him now. Sorry, all you beers in chat.
I got roasted for taking Anthony Edwards first in my fantasy draft in fantasy football or fantasy basketball.
Sure.
And
how's that going, by the way? Fantasy basketball, huh? Every day or what?
It's points per whatever. It's fun. I have no idea what I'm doing. So yes, we the ones, Jack. It drives me crazy when he's settling for long jumpers when they're in the bonus. We get in the bonus at least one quarter, if not 2 quarters or even 3 quarters the past few games.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not taking advantage of it. Cat, drive to the bucket. Ant, drive to the bucket. Jaden, drive to the bucket. Fucking Rudy, drive to the bucket. Conley, too. Like, come on. Yeah. You guys are in the bonus and they're fouling you guys like fucking crazy.
I want to agree with some of that, but I think Johnny is on the same page with me. I love that, like, when in those moments he is still aggressive. I want to be driving to the rim or in the bonus more than he's like trying to find rhythm. But I do love that he's trying to continue just like be aggressive in the non-Wiggins role that he's put in the alpha tier of our team. Wiggins was like we were like pushing it, but he wants it. Like Wiggins didn't want it, the way that Ant does. And so I do agree with Johnny in that regard. But like, yeah, he had 5 turnovers, 5 costly turnovers as well.
Yeah.
Didn't cost us the game in the long run, but
It could have.
It could have. Yeah, you're right.
I like that, Xavier. 18 A minutes, 13 C minutes, and 4 A1 minutes.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, there's. He doesn't get me refills. I get my own.
As we're going to close out the tier list, Xavier says this team can't take advantage of bonus time for 2-for-1s at the end of quarters. Still room to grow there. There's still lots of room for sure. We're going to check out the suited for holidays Timberwolves Brazil.
Oh, is it safe for work? I haven't
It's
seen.
safe for work for sure. It's cute and it's adorable, and we're 22-6.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
Like, I want to hold that.
Oh. Biggest, that is true too. Can't take advantage if the refs swallow their whistles. I appreciate you.
That's Sabrina Lorene, Wolves fan, stat queen herself, part of Wolves family here at Wolves After Dark. And I don't think we are what we are without the people like Sabrina in our community. So you're right. Hands down, A1 goes to you for that comment, D. Will. And yes, Charlie, I love that reference. I'm a big Seinfeld fan. What's up?
We need the awoo.
Oh, we need the awoo. Oh man, 1 second. I'm
What's
so bad with this when I'm not with Cameron here. Here we go.
Not on screen.
Oh, I know what you're saying. The yes, we'll do that too, real quick.
The Reddit.
Yeah.
From yesterday, or yeah.
Yeah.
How many? Let me look. Our schedule. How many more back-to-backs do we have? Because I think we lead the league in back-to-backs.
Sure. I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm so bad at this. Here's our awoo. And we're gonna pretty much close it out on this, unless there's any takes from chat. We'll finish out chat as well, but here it is.
The Wizard of Nas, that's new.
Cool.
I love that.
Hey guys, all of you that have stood by this team for its existence, we stand proud this year, man. We're fucking hyped for sure.
Sabonis had 5 fouls in the first quarter. You cannot tell me otherwise. And the fact that he finished the game with 2 is blasphemy. Anyways.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for showing up tonight and hanging out after a late game tonight. It's midnight where you are, and spending time on your weekend. I hope you guys have a awesome Christmas Eve, Christmas or holiday weekend, and share it and celebrate it with the people you love. Sabrina, thank you so much for joining us. Any last words before we close the show?
Just have a
happy holiday.
Have a happy holiday. Take some time for yourselves. Take some time for your families. Enjoy the good food. Wolves play again on Tuesday, and don't forget to vote Wolves for the All-Stars.
Oh my God, killer comment. Don't forget to vote for your All-Stars. And honestly, we got to throw in Jaden, man. Jaden's been killer for us as well. Dude, I really hope he gets nods for all NBA defense as well. The first team all defense. That's what we need from our boy. But guys, 52 wins is inevitable. 65 wins is still in play. 77-6 can still happen. 76-6 can still happen. Intro as the outro. Thank you so much, Sabrina. Once again, happy holidays, and we'll see you soon. Bye.